James Dutton for Pro Boxing Fans. Delighted to be joined here in Las Vegas with Killian. Patrick, how are you doing?
I'm doing very well, thanks, man.
Fantastic. We can see a bit of your artwork there behind you. Let's talk a bit about yourself first of all. We know you was an amateur boxer back in Wales. How did you get into boxing and why are you now painting about boxing?
Just a long time ago. It seems like a while back. I was 16 years old when I sort of started going to a shed, actually. It was a guy called Dennis Rogers, and we used to be in the Newbridge gym with Calzaghe, but I used to go to his garage starting off at 16, and then with him and him and Gary Butcher, a local businessman, ended up getting a club together, and it was great times, you know. Look, thinking back, you know, they were taking me around all the clubs in Wales and Cwmbran and different places. And at that time we had Di Gardner's as well in Empress Car Sales, which was on my doorstep, so we were going there a lot as well for sparring and stuff. But it just, you know, I went to college, 18, to Carmarthen. I boxed for the Carmarthen Boxing Club. I ended up boxing for my country, boxing for Wales. 97, very, very keen on thinking about turning pro with Enzo Calzaghe. Love him, he's gone now. But my hands were killing, you know, and I just left uni, just left art college. That was my passion, you know, you know, from the painting to the boxing. I thought, I'll stick with this, you know. Sometimes I regret it a little bit, but you know, just wonder what if I had to go. But at that time, my heart wasn't in it, so I just didn't do it. Just stuck to the painting, and this is where I am now, you know, just travelling around the world, exhibiting my pieces, and I'm enjoying it. You know, it's something I love. You know, it's not the only thing I paint, but it's I enjoy it. I love what I do.
Absolutely. So it's not the only thing you paint, but it's probably the main thing, and what you're probably mostly known for is the boxing painting.
Yeah, probably is actually, you know. But I'm not complaining.
Are you glad that you've been able to mix your two passions together?
Oh, without a doubt. I mean, the people I've met, the stories I can tell, you know, the people I've met and different things, and you know, just from one that springs to my mind is the McGregor. I know people wouldn't like that fight, but the McGregor versus Mayweather fight. I mean, I come out to exhibit that piece, and I sold the painting, and then to be asked to come to the fight by the guy that purchased the piece as his guest, took me to the fight. And I mean, it was just, you know, just little things like that, but it's not just that. There's a lot of things have happened.
So you mentioned it, that's probably your favourite memory there. When you travel over the world, like you say, exhibiting your pieces, and you go to all the big fight nights and fight weeks to exhibition and sell your pieces there. What's it like, the experience of going around all over the world, Saudi Arabia to Las Vegas, where we are now, to exhibition these pieces for your passion and what you love doing?
It's great, you know, and funny enough, I don't really think about it. Some people say, oh, you're living the dream, and I'm like, I'm just doing, you know, people don't realise it isn't easy, and I'm just getting out there and creating my dream. I'm just doing what I enjoy doing, and making it work for myself. It ain't easy, but I'm making it work. And there's bonuses that come with that, you know, from meeting the fighters. And I mean, it's just a passion in it. If I like, you know, I like those type of the guys and the characters. I mean, it's even better for me then if I get to meet them. It's just fucking great, you know. It's I swore then as well.
Absolutely. And what would you say is the biggest compliment you've had from someone that you've painted?
Do you know, I don't know. I'm not sure actually. I just, you know, it's nice when they like it and they appreciate it, and sort of, yeah, you know, it's. I haven't really got. I can't think, to be honest. So it's just nice when they appreciate it and say, wow, you know, they love it, like whatever. And it was nice when I did an event in London with Mayweather, and you know, he actually took time to come up and say like, wow, that's great, you know. And it was a piece that I was doing of him, painting live in London, and he actually came up and sort of tapped me on the shoulder and said, hey, nice, that's looking good. It's you know.
So it's not just the fight nights, and you say the Mayweather event there, also doing like your Hall of Fames and that as well. I see you've done a piece with Bernard Hopkins, Roberto Duran, etc.
Yeah, recently become the official artist of the Atlantic City Boxing Hall of Fame, and they've got a fantastic event coming up this year, again in June 26th, 27th, 28th. A couple of the guys are being inducted. It should be a great event, and it's nice to be part of that, you know, as well. and I'm sponsored by partly sponsored by Santa Fe Resorts out there, and Batch Plant, Lee Batchelor back in Wales has sponsored me a bit as well. Can't fault it, It's great to have that support, especially doing what I want.
Absolutely. Now, we spoke off camera a little bit, sort of how long it takes you to paint a piece, but it's not just a case of getting your canvas and your paintbrushes out. Talk to us a little bit about the process that goes into doing these pieces.
Yeah, it's quite, it's funny because I don't think about it a lot of times. I just do it, and then but when I'm actually asked a lot, how long does it take, and then I sort of try to break it down, and when I start explaining, I say, well, look, I don't just to start painting it, because a lot of the times there's a thought process involved, and a lot of times I find it like a jigsaw puzzle. But I have to have a think. I think about it. I think about the composition. I think how I'm going to put it together. I'm looking at with this piece. I was looking at the first fight. I was looking at what was those key things about it. I loved the fact that and the way that Fury was mocking Wilder, putting his hands behind his back. I wanted to capture that. But then I wanted to capture that shot. I wanted to capture that piece that put him down, that he got up from. Some people, or one or two people, have said about, well, I'm favouring Wilder on that piece because he's knocking him down. But, everybody that saw the fight knows what happened, and that's what I try to capture. So then, I can sit in a coffee shop for like a couple of hours just thinking about what I'm going to be painting, and then I'll be looking online at different stuff, looking at the fight, looking at different images, pausing images, because these shots here were actually from stills from the videos. You can't see these photographs anywhere, apart from the two at the top. So I wanted them sort of looking down at their handiwork. That's the sort of story behind that. And then I'll go from that, and I'll sort of do some initial sketches, plan it out and see if it works composition-wise, and then I'll make a start. And then obviously if I'm doing a time-lapse video with it as well, I've obviously got to put that into place. And then, so it's all takes time.
Absolutely. And then finally, Patrick, get a prediction on the main event Saturday night. Tyson Fury, Deontay Wilder, how does it go this time round?
Well, I'm just going to go with our guy, just because he's our guy. I really like Deontay Wilder as well. I think he's a really nice man, and the way he really conducts himself well. But I think I'm going to go for Fury. I'm going to really chuck it out there, and he is a. I've said this earlier. He is a hard man, and I really think that he's going to be hard to beat. I just think he's going to, and I think he's going to surprise a lot of people. I'm hoping he is, because that's what he's saying. I'm hoping he's going to come out there toe to toe and really put up and go for it. Because the other thing as well, I've heard a lot of people talk about this, the MMA, the mixed martial art, the UFC, and about if you get a loss in UFC, it seems to not matter. If you get a loss in boxing, people think, he's lost his record. But I think if one of these lose, it does not matter. There's so many, if they have a good fight and they make it there's so many fights out there for them. Just hope it was a good fight.
Absolutely. Patrick Killian, thank you for your time and speaking to pro boxing fans. Appreciate it.